for so long.
Why?
Honestly,
Why?
because everybody, mama had one, and then everybody who had one was always annoying, like on purpose. They would always be mean. It's like your
It's a.
phone does not make you better than anyone.
It was elitism. You got a lot of people
That
out
part,
here.
I don't like that.
Like
I
there's a
never
lot. Of, it
did.
was a lot of people out here who their phone.
I was a
defined them.
natural hipster before we knew what it was. I was like, "What are y'all doing?" Well, I need to get an Apple product. I'm like,
I mean, Apple
gonna
kind of
be?
does bully you into getting their stuff. Like
they do.
they give you a phone away for free every single time. Like
Uh,
there was a point in time where if you had an iPhone, you can always upgrade to the newest iPhone without having to do anything. Just like I'm ready for a new one, so they'll give it to you as long as you gave your old one back. Like Apple is the definition of capitalism because they knew how to make sure. Then on top of that,
because
they'll
even I look, I agree with you because I remember when they were first coming out, like I was just like, why are I getting a new one every single year? Well, you need the newest one. I'm just like, but your old one still works. You're
you
just
don't
like,
need.
I need a
You
new
don't
one.
need a
I'm
new
like,
one. They
no,
just
you
made
don't.
it that it could be there. Because the one thing about Apple is if none of their old phones are circulating, nobody can reverse engineer their technology.
Bruh.
That was one of the biggest things they were about. Two, when people figure out how to fix something, they won't never get the new one. So that's why you have so many different stores and locations and people who were just like, hey, you need a new screen, $50, I'll fix it for you. Because once you figured out how to do it, you could do it. You didn't need their stuff. So then they tried to change the way you can do that. They try to take things out the equation. They try to eliminate different things. So they kind of eventually made it be that you have to follow their rules and regulations. And the biggest thing is so many people were kind of drawn into their ecosystem to go to anything else doesn't make sense to them because they wouldn't know how to work it.
Can I put something here?
You can, of course you can.
It sounds like Apple is basically anti-nigger rigging.
I mean, yes. if you think about it,
they'd be like, "Don't you dare figure out how to."
No, but it's true because if you so like if you right, so start off number one, the biggest thing that they did from the jump that a lot of people never really paid attention to was you've never been able to change a battery in an Apple.
My very first phone was an HTC, and I loved it so much because I could actually take out the battery because it would overheat. I took out the battery. I would fix it myself and be so happy, even though it was overheating because I was doing too much. But it's like, I remember that phone, HTC Evo, was the best phone ever.
Oh, yeah, the Evo was the stuff. The Evo was hands down
phone
was
ever.
the best phone.
And then America said no. I'm looking like, first of all, y'all some haters.
I ain't going to lie to y'all. The
haters.
Evo, I think if you had Android, you had to either have the Evo or you had one version of a Samsung phone before they started doing the Galaxies.
I was HTC.
Everybody had the Evo. Evo was the stuff.
HTC, come back, please. We love you.
That was one thing I did also loved about my Samsung was I could always change the battery out. So I always kept a spare battery on me. So here we are. I could be a whole day. I did everything on my phone. Phone on 2%. Oop, just go in my bag. Swap my battery out. We back good. Meanwhile, y'all out here hunting for chargers and worried about cords.
Do you remember when they first started noticing that you could not use your iPhone like when it was super duper cold? You were panicking. I'm like,
I didn't have that problem.
I didn't like my phone stopped working. I'm like, what?
I did not know that.
It was wild. It was like a flash freeze or something. Yeah. And I just remember being outside my house and like people like on Facebook saying like, I can't use my phone because it's too cold. I was like, ooh.
I didn't actually start. That's I didn't get an iPhone until maybe the 10 or the 11. And that was only because I was working at Apple. I probably still would have my Samsungs. I actually, not gonna lie to you, up until maybe 2 years ago, I always still had a Samsung phone in one shape or form. I would have two phones. I had an Apple phone for business because there was so many people on the network who were using Apple. So
that's how I use it now. This is my business phone.
But my life was always my Samsung. I miss it because now the thing is that Samsung has right now makes Apple look just so pathetic. And I would definitely go back if I wasn't already fully integrated because I didn't realize it until before the move. I have everything Apple in my house, even though I don't use it all the time. I have an iPad. I have a MacBook. I just got a MacBook.
I'm the opposite. I'm on PC in my house right now.
I got PCs too.
I just got Apple phone. That's
right.
Well, you know what? I lie. So I joined Apple 2024 December.
Right.
And I got an iPad as well as a gift. So I actually still have not used the iPad yet,
Right.
but I'm mostly
now that
like,
you got a computer, now that you got the phone, you might as well use the iPad.
I might as well, but I want a case for it and stuff. I like making it cute and stuff.
Right. All it is basically is going to be a bigger version of what your phone is. So depending on what you like to do on your phone, and you need a bigger screen, you're gonna end up doing it on your iPad. That's basically what I did.
Also, Tom, why you gonna get me started like being mad at Apple? You got me started like that. You really went live as soon as I started going off about
First of all, it's not live.
You ain't right.
But I had already brung it up because I was gonna get started, and that's what you chose to go with. So I just let it roll. Because everybody feels their way about Apple, so you're not wrong. I mean, it's like the second biggest argument in the black community behind light skin, dark skin.
His grade looking like this girl right here. She still don't like us. Like, no,
it's cool. Not that much. It's not made for everybody. I mean, especially right now with the world kind of
some kind
we're
of
at a weird place.
No,
it's not even just that. We're at a weird place for us because social media is literally like the livelihood for a lot of us.
Yep.
It's how we communicate. It's how we keep in touch. It's how we keep our distance. Social media is our big avenue right now. And the funniest thing is, and I never thought that I would ever see the day of this. Right now, we're actually like worrying about losing one of our social media platforms.
Yo, people. Okay, look, the way I've seen like this world set up in general when it comes to like my regular stuff and also spiritual stuff is like the fear mongering is way too high when it comes to TikTok right now. So the way I'm acting about it is, one, I don't believe they're gonna let it go, because what really is happening is if an American company actually buys TikTok, we'll keep it. But they don't, we won't keep it. And I'm just like, first of all, it gives us too much data. It gives us too much information. They're going to buy it. So why are y'all panicking? Stop panicking, people.
It's because if you think about it, in the world of social media, this is the very first time. I don't know. This is the very first time. So in social media publicly, there's ever been a threat that you no longer will have it. It'll be taken away from you. Look at it. Like if you look at social media, majority of the social medias we've all grew up on are technically still there. We just didn't use them anymore. Because usually
they just get phased out.
Yeah, they just get phased out. But this is the first time.
But this is the first time because we have younger ones actually using it and actually thriving on it and making money off of it and everything. All of a sudden it's a threat. Like, oh my God, everyone's livelihood and also their minds. Like, yes, the minds are really, really important. But the same breath, it's like this. It's a different ball game.
It is.
It's about to be deleted or not, like y'all.
And it's tricky because. It's tricky because there's people who definitely use TikTok for entertainment. TikTok also has an educational value to it. A lot of people don't pay attention to. I've actually gotten accustomed to doing a lot of my promotions for my business via there. Like a lot of the shows I record here at TDR, clips and things in regards to it get shown out there. So, and it's a worldwide application. I think that's the biggest thing that is a lot of people are kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe.
It's like an endless TV, basically.
Right, it is. It's worldwide.
You get all kinds of people. And like what I've learned, like what I've understood so far is that we all want to know what someone's doing and how their life is for some reason. We have a natural curiosity to be looking like, what is your reality looking like? Right. And TikTok is the perfect way to like show someone that, because I know for myself, I post like inspirational videos on there, my life and stuff. Like I had one video where I'm just like, I need a man, but I said, wait, no, I don't, because a man is why I got this guy to TikTok anyway. Why did I say that? I need a can opener, and I had one. So it was a funny gig, but in the same breath, people use it as therapy as well,
right? They
use it to like help other people like through their own reality. Like I know that's what I do for myself. I'm just like, if I can make y'all laugh and like live like one more day, I have succeeded.
Exactly. And the one thing I love the most about TikTok is it definitely connects you worldwide. Like I have followers from Africa, from China, from England, from Russia. I have different people from different places. So someone like me whose business is communication, just giving you the ability to see like, hey, this is what we're talking about. We're not always what they show on TV. We got some in-depth here. We got some connectivities here. It's cool. And then there's a lot of content creators who really thrive on the way TikTok is. I definitely have followed certain people just simply because that little 2 to 3 minutes of entertainment or a little bit 2 to 3 minutes of knowledge that you can get on TikTok has definitely made it work for me to be here. Some of my favorite skits come from TikTok, even though they may post them on Instagram or you may pop up on Facebook, but it don't hit the same like it does on TikTok for some odd reason. It's just the format is better in regards to it. But I don't think TikTok is going away. I think because what I heard today was that there is like a 5 to 6 month extension being added before the ban is put in place. I think they just had the conversation about it because the way the deal was made in regards to it. So it is a possibility. And then number two, I don't know if people truly understand like how applications work. Once you have it on your phone, it's actually still yours to be able to use.
Like Flappy Bird, I remember
but you can't, once you delete it off your phone, you can't get it back. See, that's the downside to. I'm glad you brought up Apple because that's what made me roll into that. That's the downside with Apple. You don't get that issue with Android because with Android, there's an actual app file that's added to your device.
That's why I still love Android.
Android, you can side load it as they refer to it as, where you can put it back on if you go get that thing. So I could literally go online, download whatever the updated version of TikTok is, and put it back on my phone. It may be in Mandarin, but I can still have it.
It might be in Mandarin.
It might be in Mandarin, but I can still have it if it's really that serious. Whereas an Apple, once it's gone, it's gone. It's deleted out the app market, and if it's not there, you can never re-download it again. Because once again, like you brought up Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird's a prime example.
I missed that game.
People are going to they've made multiple different versions of it.
But the original is where it's at. You can't make a copy of an original.
It really is the same thing. They just made it look different.
But it was beautiful nostalgia. Like people have lost like that spark. Like
because it looked like Mario, and people didn't get permission to use the Mario pipes. They just would have asked for permission to use the Mario pipe.
I used to play that game while waiting for everybody. Like I remember, I legitimately have a core memory of like high school where everybody was trying to like they were learning how to drive, and I would be in the area of King High School just playing Flappy Bird like for an hour, waiting for them to just take turns the car. I'm just like, yeah, this is good times right here. Just
good times. No, but also the funniest thing is of course, once people are done with one social media app, they go find a new one to go to. So the biggest thing right now is people have been migrating to two specific applications. One is called Lemonade, which is Lemonade.
I say Lemonade.
It probably is supposed to be that way.
It probably is Lemonade.
But when you look for it online, it's going to say Lemonade.
Lemonade.
And Red Note.
Red Note. What's that one?
Now, Red Note is supposed to be the actual Chinese version of what TikTok is.
That sounds like
and it's funny because when you type in Red Note, the app shows up, but it's also in Mandarin symbols. So it don't even say Red Note for us to read.
Why does that sound like a reference to a dang on video game? I'm thinking about I don't know why I'm thinking about Metro 2 something.
It could be. But the funny thing is on this app, everybody is being referred to as TikTok refugees. So they're being called TikTok refugees, and everybody is making content on those who actually migrated over to Red Note. They're actually making content welcoming the TikTok refugees, explaining how it works.
Welcome Americans.
They're making videos basically saying that, everybody's giving the finger to America while the TikTok refugees are being accepted over here. They're showing people learning Mandarin so they can get the basic conversation down. It's hilarious.
It's the desperation, but also what's that word?
Ingenuity.
There you go. Thank you.
It is.
I'm a stutter.
It is. I am loving how so unserious we can be at times, because I'm telling you, there are so many people, Chinese, Africans, Vietnamese, all on the app. Like, come on, we got you. Come here. Like, there's literally this one dude I follow. He's like, okay, so while you're here, I'm going to teach you some words to learn how to say as you're doing this. This is how you say this. And he'll teach it. Like, the TikTok is educating you. And it's like, this is funny as hell, because there are people really learning a whole new language, continue to use a social media app. So you have people doing stuff in English, you have applications being in Mandarin. And it's like, we all like, you know what? We just want to have
Mandarin money, y'all. They getting all the money. They saying like, you know what? I might as well do it all.
Then on TikTok, TikTok, there's people saying goodbye to their spy. Because the whole reason why the TikTok app is being shut down is because America accused China of utilizing TikTok to steal information.
I mean, like, but look, if your spy is there spying on you, don't they love you a little bit? Like,
but that was it.
They know your inside out. They know
that's
exactly
and that's why they were. That people
your
was
spy
right.
should be your best lover.
They was writing love letters.
You know
people was like,
"Hi, FBI agent, I love you so much. I know you give you a heart attack and shit, but you know what? I love you because you keep me safe."
And that's what a lot of people were saying. It was like, look, I know my spy was sick of me. The stuff
exactly.
I would post, things I was looking at. I was like, I know my spy was looking at me like I'm weird because the things I would search and the rabbit holes I was going. So even in these last moments, people are still being childish.
What if your spy fell in love and then follows you to Red Note?
Yeah, I'm saying it was funny. It was funny.
That's a love story right there.
To me, that was one of the funniest things about this whole week. So I'm definitely gonna keep tabs on it. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be completely shut down. I'm already on Lemonade. I'm already on Red Note.
I keep getting Lemonade invites. I'm just like, should I just go on there?
Well, I was already on there long before everybody started migrating there because with me being a person who shares content in different places and spaces, I try to make sure that what spaces can my content be in? What spaces can I post clips and videos and reviews and articles and things in regards to what I do and how much ahead of the curve can I get? That's one of the biggest things I like to make sure that someone comes to me about this, like, hey, Tone, I seen this and I want to see what I can do to put my podcast on there. I can easily go like, okay, cool. This is what we're going to do because I've already tested it. Like, I'm that person. Okay. I'm the R&D department of everything.
That is actually freaking amazing and very talented because, god dang, I don't got the bandwidth for that.
I don't either, but I don't
know how you do that.
I got time right now.
Man, so I got time. All I got is time.
So, because with me having my own podcast, it's easy for me to test stuff to see how it works for me.
True.
And if it doesn't work when I do it, then I know it's not going to work for somebody else because I'm more likely to just put a 15-minute episode out there, do a 30-minute episode, do a couple of clips here and there. I can post my shows in these different places. And if it doesn't come back right or there's a complaint, I'm the only one who has to suffer in regards to that because it's my show. Whereas if I use somebody else's and they're not getting the result, they're going to be asking all these questions and wanting all these different things to happen because technically it's what you're paying me for. But that's not what's going to happen here. So
we need to know.
Right so now. It's a beautiful thing. At the end of the day, we're eventually going to figure out how to get away from Facebook. I think
your microphone wants a bracelet.
Just going to put a bracelet on the mic. Yes. Whatever you do, whatever makes you comfortable in regards to that. But with that being said, for those of you guys who have been here for the last 17 minutes, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From, where the only requirement for this podcast is to be where I come from. We are back in the building today on this cold January day here, and I am actually joined by someone very special to me. We became friends at Friendsgiving, so shout out to Britt Nicole. That means that particular Friendsgiving was successful. If you made a friend at Friendsgiving, technically that's successful. And we've been rocking and rolling for a while now since then. And it was about time that I had her come through and we just have a small little conversation. She has a very unique mind and aspect on life, and she got a lot going on. So we'll go ahead and introduce y'all to my new little sister, Zakia, and everything. What's going on?
Hello. I'm going to talk to the mic because I don't know what's going on, honestly. But you know what? Yes, we did meet at Friendsgiving. And what's funny about that is I have a little bit of memory of it, but not that much memory of it. But as long as we're here, that is a success.
If you drunk anything at Friendsgiving,
I was lit. And I took a nap. At Friendsgiving, I will always take a nap. If you see me, I'm that one kid that goes into the back room and takes a nap. I'm the napping baby. That's me.
If you went to any of Britt Nicole's Friendsgiving, you know exactly what she drank and why she drank, and that's why she don't remember nothing. But we are here to talk about you. There's a lot been going on with you in regards to it. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
All right, so like clockwork, someone is trying to distract me. You funny. People trying to be messy while I try to be successful. So I am an artist here in Milwaukee. I was born and raised in 53206, 53209, and I now live on the east side. So I came from the north side and I moved to the east side.
Sorry to hear that.
I know, right? But at the same time, you know what? It's okay. It's okay because the North Side built me up, and it. Look, I had a great upbringing in my family home, but at the same time, I didn't. Like most kids, we had like your own tussles inside the house and stuff. But in the same breath, I grew up in the school 35th Street School, which is now Asada High School. And 35th Street School was one of those schools that smelled like pee in the hallway, and it was a fight every single day.
Oh my!
Oh no, for real, it was like. I learned how to basically ignore everybody and their mama via books because it would be a fight every single day, and I'd be just sitting there looking at my book looking like, you know what, this ain't gonna stop, so I might as well learn something. So me growing up, I was really focused on just figuring out how to get out.
Okay.
Always how to get out of here. And in the same breath, I was learning how to actually use my mind to sort of I tell kids now, I say, y'all got superpowers. You know that, right? Looking like, you're talking about looking like, look, you got ADHD, meaning you know how to do like some things at once, or you have a super brain that just cannot stop, meaning you can absorb a lot of information. Time to use it.
Right.
So when I was growing up, I was figuring out how to meditate low key. I didn't even know what that word was. I was doing that. I was doing hand mudras, which is when you're like, you are getting your hands together like the Naruto hands and stuff.
I was like, you out here just doing the
yes,
Naruto?
I was doing that intuitively as a kid. But also I get off track a lot. So let me go back to myself again. So yes, Milwaukee born and raised, 2-parent home. I had a lot of Southern grandmas. I had a lot of uncles on my dad's side, a lot of aunties on my mom's side. I'm a poet. I am an artist. I'm a Reiki master teacher. Gotta say that now because I cannot keep on saying that. Okay. What else I do? I'm a live painter. I'm a belly dancer. I'm a mentor. I used to be a junior program coordinator for Pearls Teen Girls. I was a lead artist for Artists Working Education. I am also renowned for stuttering and having a very, 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 very fast way of talking because I slow down myself for everybody else because everyone else is just too slow for me, but I'm just quick. So I've been doing a lot in Milwaukee for over like 10 years when it comes to the art nonprofit world and teaching kids, adults, teens alike how to basically get in touch with healing their inner child despite all the things that goes on in Milwaukee, like around us. Like I remember always hearing gunshots. I remember always getting into fights. Not me getting into fights, but everybody around me getting into fights with themselves, parents, classmates, teachers, everything. Like literally a mental battleground. Okay. And I've learned and I've been teaching people how to survive in that kind of environment despite all that might be thrown at you because I, for one, don't look like what I've been through. I don't look like what I've even seen. And people always try to assume like the best, which is I think is great, but also it gives a way of opening up someone to negativity. Like if you see my face and be like, oh, she's so sweet and naive, I'm going to treat her like that. You are robbing me of things that I could actually benefit from. Right. And I've applied that same method to other people. Like I've actually been a mother to people who are older than me because of what I've learned through my childhood, through being a teenager, through being a young adult. Like I basically teach people how to be authentic again, how to really have some hope in this world and accepting yourself for how you are because I'm really fussy. I'm cussy. I'm spiritual. I'm fussy. I'm cussy. I'm fussy and cussy. I went in the hospital last year I had developed some extreme dementia amnesia via trauma. Oh my. And I had to bring myself back by myself because quite truthfully, I did not have the right people surrounding me. I had users, but not people who were gifters around me. So I brought myself back out of that crap by myself, but also with my ancestor work, because I do ancestor work. I am a spiritualist, so I do what I gotta do for myself. And experiencing all of that really opened my eyes to how Milwaukee for real does set people up for failure on purpose. And I can say right now, I failed. I failed hard. I was down. but I brought myself back up from the exact things that I was already doing. I had just forgot myself and lost myself along the way because I was around people that were, well, unsavory. Like how they would say jealous spirits and things like that. They're really sneaky kind of energies that you will love at first. But then once you open your eyes, you see the truth. And that's how, for me, I figured that out. But I try to teach people how to just continue being yourself because you are doing exactly what you need to do. Like even those people who are users, they teach a person like me who used to be a people pleaser how to hold bigger and stronger boundaries.
Okay.
I've told people how to avoid some of the unsavory things that happen in our poetry community and our artist community. Like, for example, don't be smoking with people or their mama. Don't drink off everybody drinks and stuff. Make sure you have your own drink. Make sure you have your own smoke. Because I know we all do our thing, but you need to be very aware of the energy that Milwaukee people, well, including myself, we hold individually. We are literally gods. Everyone is a god to me. In that sense, I say we all have this extreme power about us, but also we can have a lot of extreme crutches. And when we have people around us who are like a bunch of yes men, you can sometimes develop a big old ego that does not get checked enough, and you can harm the people that you're trying to help. And I'm one of those people that's like straight up will be like, yo, you doing too much. You need to scale this back down. Or, hey, you doing too much. This needs to like get fixed. Like I'm basically a fixer. I'm a fixer, a little bit of control freak, a little bit. I figured it out. But I will say wherever space I have entered in, I always bring some happiness. I always bring some goodness. I'm always bringing like little green fairy dust or whatever people want to say. Like, I want to put you in my pocket. I'm looking like, sure, you can do that. But at the same time, I got this old lady wisdom inside of me that I got to give you real quick. Hold on. What you doing? Stop being stupid. So even like with that, I express myself via my art, via my poetry, via like just me existing and dressing. And I hope that sometime by osmosis or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, man, the damn word right now. But I hope by being an example in my reality, in my world, in my goddesshood, that I show other people, oh, you can be happy while living in some bullshit. You can choose to be hopeful while living in Milwaukee. You can choose to say, I'm gonna stay here and actually I'm gonna actually stay here and uplift my community while being my awesome self, because I swear I was getting drunk. I was getting dragged for a while. Like I thought I was gonna move out of here. I was like, I'm not coming back. And then I was like, you know what? No. Cause I love my city. I actually love being here despite all the crap that's ever happened to me over here. I love this place and I want us to grow and stuff. That's why I'm still here. But we have so many folks that say, I don't like Milwaukee. I hate it here. Yada, yada. I'm just like, you are surrounded by the wrong people.
I can agree with you on that. Those who are around you will go ahead and determine how or where you're supposed to move at. But at the same time, I won't knock and say that everybody can grow in Milwaukee the right way. I do always tell people to definitely don't be afraid to step out. I left Milwaukee for a good 4 to 6 years when I joined the military in regards to it. And that time allowed me to be able to see the world a little bit differently. And because I was able to see the world a little bit differently and see how everybody acts in their different places and spaces, you come to find out there's a lot of things that we blame only on Milwaukee. That's actually universal.
Exactly.
There is a ghetto mindset everywhere. And ironically, that ghetto mindset has no color lines.
Exactly.
So you can find people of Caucasian descent, people of Asian descent, people of Middle Eastern descent, people of Hispanic descent, literally going through the exact same thing you're going through in the same aspect. I have yet to this day to find anybody who has been successful in a relationship simply because they moved to a different race, creed, or color. Because you're going to find out that it doesn't matter what you're into or who you like, you're still going to have same relationship problems, because when you give everybody free will and free thinking, you're going to get different. You're going to sometimes come across different problems in the same people.
Exactly.
But let's back up a little bit here.
Period. Back it up.
You are an artist. Let's start there.
Yes, I am an artist.
How did you get into that? Like, what made you want to pursue that outside of just being something that you enjoy doing? Because you have done vending events in regards to it. You have had art shows. You have displayed your pieces of work throughout multiple different places that I've seen. What got you into it?
What really got me into it, like professionally, like business wise, was it was during college. So I went to Mount Mary University, and I went there for art therapy. It was actually the very first time I actually figured out what art therapy was, because I honestly did not know where I was going to go in my life at all. Went on a tour, found art therapy, and I was just like, oh, I can do art and also therapy stuff. Heck yeah, let me do that, because everybody in my family need therapy, and I love art, so let's go for it. So when I figured out that degree, and I figured out that you could actually make money plus actually help people while doing art, because I was always doing art as a kid, but as a business sense, I would say what really got me into it was when people started asking me, like, can you paint me can you paint me like something? I was like, okay, like how much you want? They're looking like, oh, I can charge me like 100. I was like, oh, okay, I'll try. And I started to just like paint my emotions out, and I started painting like goddesses and flowers and all kinds of stuff in my little dorm room. First for myself actually, but then when people started asking me how much it was, that's when the money started coming in. But I didn't do it like what was it? What's the word? I didn't do it consistently. I was more of an artist that just was honestly terrified of the art market, because this is when like technology started to like really gig up, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
When you had to advertise yourself, and I was honestly scared shitless, so I did not advertise much. I was on the back burner. I started getting into like the nonprofit sectors of art therapy instead. So I started an internship, and I did that was for Bloom Art Therapy, and from there I started to learn about AWE, which is still around, and I would basically turn into intern to artist to lead, business wise, because and that's it, I'm still a support role, but on the side I would still be making like my own paintings. I would go out. Question here. Hold on, not question. Pause. Pause.
Okay.
I signed up for my very first artist residency in 2020 with Arts at Large. And that I will say was probably the moment where I truly figured out that I could do this professionally as an artist, to actually have my own first like paintings up on a wall in a big place. But in the same breath, it was the first time I had to encounter quarantine plus a new venture. So when it came to business for me, when it came to art, I've always been in this space where it has always been in between worlds, like the world of technology and the world of no technology. It was very weird, because I'm like a Gen Z millennial thing. Like I'm 1997. Right. So I'm like right in the middle. Like I'm always in the middle. So even with my art, it's like I didn't do art because I wanted money. I did art because it actually helped me survive.
Right.
I actually use it as therapy. Actually use it for my mental health, and business just came with it because I was doing something that I actually love to do.
Right.
So I started doing like art markets, like the winter market. So I started making bookmarks. Like I started making bookmarks because I was a student orientation leader at Mount Mary, and we made bookmarks for the first time. And I'm looking like, oh, I can buy a laminator and make bookmarks. Let me go do that. And I sold my first few bookmarks at the winter market. I said, oh, snap, I can do some more. But even while I was doing that, I was battling my own mental health. So I was battling depression and anxiety and everything. So like I said, I was not consistent, but eventually fast forward to plus freaking, what is it, like 5, 10? It's so wild to figure out, like this is like only a few years ago that I'm now being fully consistent with it. And I've been booked for live painting gigs. I've done parties. I've done so much so far for myself, and I'm just sort of getting started with the consistency build up of like the art business wise, because I'm still nervous. I'm still me.
You are always going to be nervous because it's something that you're doing that you love. I tell people all the time, if you're not nervous, when you go out there to do something, you're not doing it because you love it anymore.
I've been told because I care so much, that's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Like when I first was able to actually teach at so it's called Obama now. So 35th Street School actually it entered Custard High School and they renamed it Obama.
Right.
So it was so funny to go to Obama as a teacher for art for like only 3 weeks before quarantine hit, and have like that childhood to adulthood like clash together. I was like, wait a minute, I actually like went to school with some of y'all parents, which is really hilarious, and now I get to teach y'all art, and I'm just about like 20 something years old. This is wild. This is beautiful. This is great. And now currently I actually do teach art again at Asada right now. Okay. So it's residency through RC Large, and it's like, once again, I'm being faced with my past, but in a different mode. Like I'm in a different mindset, different maturity about it. Right. And actually getting paid to do it. I'm just like, I'm getting paid to actually go through the same kind of trauma. Yes, I love it here.
I mean, sometimes some people can handle trauma when there's a paycheck tied to it. It's all going to work every day for some people.
Yeah, it is. But I will like to rephrase that, because it's like not just trauma. It's more like you get to encounter the same kinds of folks that you had to encounter as a child, but now you're an adult. You're able to help. Yeah. And not just feel helpless. Exactly. That's which is like I love about the art business wise, because art, you're always healing someone. You're always healing. You are always being a healer as an artist. You can't turn it off. And I think a lot of people need to realize that when you are an artist, when you are a graphic designer, when you are an architect, whatever you have designed something, you are actually healing somebody. You are healing the world. You are doing your thing. Especially if you're nervous, because you're doing the best thing ever, because you know that you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart. You're not doing it just because. You're not like, you're actually moving in your purpose, no matter what it is. Like, that is just so freaking dope. Like, yes. It makes me so happy.
So you also said that you are a Reiki healer?
Yes, I am a Reiki master teacher.
So first of all, what is that?
So Reiki, the way I like to explain for people to understand it in like a universal sense is it is prayer hands times 100.
Okay. And how did you get into that?
I got into it via my teacher, Melissa Blue Muhammad.
Okay. Shout out to Blue.
I love Miss Blue. So I got into it when I was, what was it? 2021. I was learning about Reiki from a different teacher, actually, who was not the best teacher ever. I will not name drop that man at all. He was a scammer. But I was learning how to move energy, because when you're doing prayer hands, Reiki hands, you are moving energy that's already in the room, already in yourself. Okay. And you're connecting to the universal source, which is like God or creator, creators, whatever source you want to say. When you're doing Reiki, you are connecting to that divine energy to help energetically heal your body. Like Reiki has been proven to help a lot of people with like mental fatigue, with depression, with fibroids, with all kinds of stuff. Like I've helped someone unleash trauma out their back just by doing Reiki. But I got into it during like 2021, and I just felt this inkling in my soul that I need to go get taught by Miss Blue, because I already knew her. Right. But when my spirit was already telling me, Kia, go do this, I was go do it. Because I think that's one thing that people have like lost touch with is their intuition or their inner spirit talking to them. And we sometimes try to say like, no, that's schizophrenia. Like, no, there is something different about this voice. It's about putting you on a path to actually help other people. It's always a good voice. And I will say I got pushed towards that because one, I needed it in my life at that moment. I shit you not. Each time that I did a Reiki class with Miss Blue, my life leveled up immensely. Like every time I started doing, so I did the first time. Yeah, so the first time you got to do it on yourself. The second time you're able to do it on friends and family. The third time, that's when you're able to do way more. Okay. But me inherently, I actually had the gift of being able to do bigger scale than just people. I could do a whole building if I wanted to. Every single person is different with their abilities. That's why I say like superpowers and stuff like that. Right. Like when you are a person who has been taught all your life that you are not that important, that you are not, just basically you get pushed down so much that you diminish your own sense of self and your own like inner God or whatever, you will fake yourself out. So me learning Reiki actually put me back in touch with my own spirit, my own ancestry, my own everything that I needed to honestly get rid of that amnesia I had last year.
Right.
Because I used my Reiki to get my mind together again. And it's like learning Reiki, I was able to figure out so much about how it truly works, because there are things such as long distance Reiki. There's also Reiki that's like travels through time, and that is literal. Like it legitimately, let's say I got a client that wants Reiki done on their back at 3 p.m. I can set the energy to be sent at 3 p.m. for them. That's a real thing. And people have I would say in America, we have capitalized it, of course, because you need to make money and stuff. But where it comes from originally in Japan, they did not do it that way. It was an extremely close practice. And when it came over here, the teacher, she was like, y'all about to charge up the wazoo because the Americans are doing too much anyway. And lady was right. But it's still a beautiful healing tool. And I would say everyone does have access to it, because we all have universal access to this universe energy, but Reiki is still a closed teacher to teacher practice. Because it's about like moral compass and honor and knowing where you're getting your energy from. So let's say, for example, you got a Reiki teacher that's been doing hard drugs.
Oh my.
Let's just say this example. They will be giving you the universal energy plus their vices. That's when you gotta be wary about who you're getting touched on. Like especially with, comparison with the prayer hands. You got someone's putting a prayer hand on you, but they got demons on them. You don't want that energy. What's wrong with you? Don't do that. But people are not as aware of how energy works, because me and you, we're two bodies right here, but if you took off our meat suits, we're still just floating atoms and energy and light sources.
Right.
So that's how I like to explain it. Like everything's energy, everything is electricity, everything is happening all at the same time. I will keep on going. I don't know how to stop. Right. But Reiki is something that I really freaking love, because it definitely it's been proven to me to work and works on my clients. And depending on what kind of teacher you are, you will figure out your own style. I know for me, my art has always been Reiki infused. Like I have my water bottle right here. This is all infused with my own energy, my own Reiki energy.
Okay.
Even when I was doing artwork, like before I was even a teacher of Reiki or Reiki student, people knew what my energy was. Like I was doing Reiki before I knew what Reiki was. So it's a journey.
It is definitely a journey. So what is next for you?
What is next for me?
Because you are a busy woman. So what do you have in plans for you?
So what's really next for me right now is to continue branching out in these. How do I explain this? Continue branching out outside of the circles that I have been in, because the circles that I was in, they weren't really fulfilling me how I need to be filled. I wasn't really learning anything. I wasn't really being pushed out my shell enough. So I am currently working on just getting more structure and organization around my personal life and allowing what I have done already and what I'm doing right now, which is like, so for example, I do live painting still. I do tarot readings. I do tarot parties. So I already have like a tarot party booked up actually. It's really cool. Yeah, but I'm allowing myself to meet more people. I'm allowing myself to let these opportunities find me and vice versa. I'm actually taking myself out of like the background scene and allowing myself to be seen for once, because I used to be the one that would be in the background, not trying to be seen that much. I'd be scared of everything. But I've been getting pushed by like my ancestors, by God, all that, to really like walk in how I'm supposed to have been walking. Like, so right now I have a few things in my head because I don't like telling everybody their mom that no more. But overall, it's about me expressing myself openly, not holding my tongue back anymore, allowing myself to really just show Milwaukee and the world what I can do, but in a televised fashion. So that's like one hint on what I'm doing behind the scenes, televised. And knowing that what I'm doing via podcast or video or in-person parties or in galleries, I am setting an example for another young little black girl like in Milwaukee to just be like, oh snap, I can do that too. Yes, you can, because I'm doing it. I always wished for a mentor that had art therapy and spirituality and this and that all in one. I couldn't find her because I am her.
Exactly.
And I have to walk in her path to make it a reality. So it's like I gotta do a lot.
Well, we are coming close to the end of our hour of power. We learned a lot about you today. So for those who want to go ahead and reach out to you and probably book you for a live show or get a Reiki from you or just want to be your friend, what's the best way for people to be able to get a hold of you?
Well, to be my friend, you got to sell your soul. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I was going to say, you are not getting my soul. I probably belong to 3 other people by now, to be honest.
Oh my God. Ew. That's too much. That's too many soul ties. But anyway, okay.
I was young.
Ew, that's bad. I'm kidding. All right, so you can find me on Facebook as Zakia Wells, like that is my government name. Like you can find me there, Zakia Wells, WELLS. You will find me, and you will see my page is a hot mess, but at the same time, that is me. I got people from all kinds of backgrounds. It ain't no filtering.
It's not. I've been there for a while.
It's beautiful.
It is what it is.
You sometimes see legs.
Actually, that is true.
Okay, and then on Instagram, I am ZW_artist, so ARTIST. And on TikTok, I am also ZW artist, so ZWARTIST. And on my website, which actually hosts my blog and my portfolio, you can book me for tarot and actually send me an email if you need something more. That is ZW. Oh snap! Brain girl, think ZW Spirit. Give me a moment because it's funny, Patty. It's on my phone.
Speaking of tarot, don't you be at a certain place here in the city doing that?
Hold on. I gotta say that right. Say that wrong. Say that so wrong. ZWRspirit.com. So ZWARTSPIRIT.com. And also I got ADHD, so you better not bully me. Okay. But yeah, I be doing tarot.
Where at though?
So right now, I be doing it at my house, or I be doing it at the Bronzeville Collective on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm there, Bronzeville Collective, and I love it so much there. They're amazing.
Shout out to Tiff and Lilo over there.
Tiff and Lilo are my besties. I love them so much. Wait, hold on. I need to rephrase that. They're my besties, godmothers. I don't know anymore because it's like they adopted me.
Being them too, I can definitely see that. I definitely know they probably did.
I feel like a little. I feel like a little fairy in their house. I'm just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Lilo was high key sick of my shit, but that's the.
Lilo will smack the crap out of you.
That's because me and Lilo got unnecessary beef.
No, you can't be having beef with Lilo. Like, first of all,
this is what we are.
I will bite your ankles.
That is wild.
You see, I'm actually their guard dog too.
That is wild. My ankles are in danger. But no, Lilo is the homie. Tiff definitely is the homie. And shout out to Brownsville Collective. Make sure y'all stop in and check them out as well too.
Yes, we have so many Black-owned vendors there.
So
like, you need to come through, and if you do somehow want friendship from me, you just gotta understand that I will defend my friends with my entire life. And bite ankles for them. I might turn into a dog and do it. I'm weird.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out today's episode. Make sure you check us out at all streaming platforms, that's Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcast at. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at TDR Live Stream, or you can follow us on any social media by just typing in TDR Network, and I guarantee you we will pop up in one shape or form. With that being said, we are out of here, people. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And